In the heart of Rajasthan, where sandstorms whisper forgotten prayers and ancient palaces sleep beneath time's golden shroud, there stood a forgotten Haveli, Sati Haveli. The villagers barely spoke of it, and when they did, it was in hushed tones, as if afraid the wind might carry their words to her. Lady Sati Mehra, the last mistress of the estate, gone on her wedding night. She vanished without a scream, leaving only a blood-red bridal sari and a mirror that never stopped fogging. Nisha, 26, bold, skeptical, was a city photographer. She chased myths through her lens, unraveling ghost stories with each shutter click. When she read about the Haveli, her curiosity flared. Ghosts don't linger in modern times, she scoffed. But even as the jeep rattled toward the desert, her heart whispered, then why do their stories remain? You'll see her, the chai vendor had muttered, but she won't see you. Not at first. Nisha laughed then, but now. Standing before the creaking iron gate of Sati Haveli, she wasn't laughing anymore. The gate sighed open. She stepped in. The path was cracked, choked by thorny vines and silence. The air, still, too still. Even the desert wind held its breath. Inside, dust shimmered in dying sunlight, falling like gold ash. The scent, decay, and something floral. Sweet, wrong. Her boots echoed on marble, sharp, lonely, growing, heavier. Then she saw it, the mirror, tall, ornate, breathing. It stood at the end of the hallway, wrapped in silk that fluttered, though no wind touched it. She raised her camera. The lens fogged, her fingers trembled. The silk slipped, slowly, and fell, and Nisha gasped, because the mirror didn't show her. It showed a woman, dressed in crimson, eyes hollow, face pale. A bridal bindi glowed on her forehead, burning like a third eye. She stood where Nisha stood, but her lips were moving. Nisha leaned closer. What are you saying? The woman in red screamed, not from the mirror, from behind her. Nisha turned, but no one was there. The Mirror of Sati, Part 2. Her voice in the glass. Nisha stumbled back, her heart pounding, louder than her own footsteps. No one was behind me, she whispered, but her spine still tingled, as if someone was breathing on it. She turned to the mirror again. The woman in red was gone. But now, a single word was written across the glass. Stay. She wiped at it. It wouldn't smudge. She wiped harder. The word bled into another. Listen. And then the mirror began to whisper. Nisha's ears rang, her knees buckled. What is this? What do you want from me? But the mirror didn't stop. From its depths, a voice crawled out. Broken. Beautiful. Bitter. They burned me. A pause. I begged. I cried. They locked the doors and lit the fire. Nisha's eyes widened. Sati. Her mouth was dry. The story was true. The legend of a young bride sacrificed by her own family for honor. It wasn't a myth. It was a memory, burned into glass, trapped in silver. They said I chose the flames. The voice quivered, but I didn't. I never did. Tears welled in Nisha's eyes. Why show me this, she asked. The voice softened, like ashes drifting in twilight. Because you saw me. No one ever sees me. They look, but they never truly see. Then the voice sharpened. But you will help. Nisha stepped back. Her instinct screamed. Run. Why me? No reply. Only the word on the mirror. Changing again. Stay. And then a second line formed beneath it. Night is near. The sun had dipped below the horizon. The air turned cold. And behind her, the door slammed shut. The Mirror of Sati, Part 3, The Room That Remembers. The slam echoed. Again and again, like the Haveli itself was laughing. Nisha spun around. The door she'd entered through, gone. No, not just closed. It had vanished. Only wall, stone, ancient, breathing. She wasn't just trapped. She was taken. The mirror shimmered behind her, no longer reflecting her form. Instead, it now showed a hallway. Long, narrow, lit by dying candles. And at the end, a door. Red, blood red. Nisha blinked. The hallway in the mirror matched the one behind her. She turned, the same candles, same peeling walls, same smell of ashes and jasmine. She was inside the mirror's memory. She walked. Each step echoed louder. Each breath shallower. The air turned thicker, like walking through silk, drenched in tears. She reached the red door, hesitated. From behind it, sobbing, soft, rhythmic, like a child trying not to be heard. Nisha's fingers trembled as they touched the brass handle. It burned, but she turned it anyway. Inside was a bedroom, rich, dusty, draped in time, a bridal bed, curtains stained with age and something darker. And on the floor, a girl, kneeling, crying, in a crimson sati, her back to Nisha. "Are you Sati?" The girl froze. The sobbing stopped. Then, she turned her head slightly, not fully, just enough for Nisha to see her eyes. White, empty, endless. "Not anymore," she whispered. "Now I am what they made me." The mirror behind Nisha began to crack. A web of fractures snaked across its surface, and the girl stood, slow, floating, silent. Nisha stepped back. "I don't want to hurt you," she pleaded. The girl tilted her head. "But I want you to feel me. Feel what it's like to burn and never be remembered." To be continued. The Mirror of Sati, Part 4. Fire that never died. Glass rained around Nisha. A shard, a scream, frozen in Ziva. She shielded her face, but nothing cut her. The pieces dissolved before touching the floor. When she looked up, the girl was gone. Number not gone. Behind her, "Don't turn around." The voice whispered, too close. Inside her ear, inside her bones. "Not unless you're ready to see." But Nisha turned. Slow, heavy. And there she was, Sati, her face no longer young. It shifted, burned. Eyes like open furnaces. Skin peeling in ash and sorrow. But her voice remained calm. "They sealed me in this room. My wedding bed became my pyre. They watched and called it devotion." The room began to heat. Walls darkened. The ceiling wept soot. I screamed until there was no air left. Until silence became my only voice. Nisha fell to her knees. "I'm sorry." She meant it, but she didn't know for what. Just that sorrow filled her lungs more than breath. Sati knelt before her. "Will you carry me?" Nisha blinked. "What do you mean?" Sati reached forward, fingertip glowing like coal, and touched Nisha's chest, right over her heart. "Take me with you. Let them hear me again." Then the room shattered. Walls crumbled into smoke. The bed burst into flame. The mirror behind them turned into a portal, swirling with red and silver light. Sati's form flickered, between girl and ghost, between pain and peace. She smiled, just once, then whispered, "Open the mirror." And Nisha reached for it. The Mirror of Sati, Part 5. The Memory Keeper. Nisha's hand trembled as it neared the mirror. The swirling portal pulsed, like a living wound in time. Behind her, Sati waited, not speaking, not pressuring, just there. A presence more sorrow than shadow. She touched the glass. It wasn't cold. It wasn't hot. It was memory, thick, wet, and warm like the breath of something ancient. Her vision blurred, and then, flash, fire, laughter, chains of marigold. A wedding drumbeat twisted into funeral rhythm. Nisha saw the past. Sati's wedding. The reluctant groom. The empty faces of elders chanting honor as oil was poured onto her head, onto her dress, onto the floor. She screamed, but not as herself. As Sati, she felt her limbs tied. She smelled her own burning hair. She heard the silence of every mouth that refused to stop it. Then, darkness. And then, her own voice. No more. Nisha fell back from the mirror, gasping. Sati stood above her. Not vengeful, but whole, calm. Her sari no longer burning. Her face no longer hollow. You saw me. Nisha nodded. Tears traced her cheeks like rain down old stone. Now, tell them, Sati said. Tell the world I was more than a flame. The Havli groaned. Walls cracked. The portal shrank into the mirror once more. But now, whole. Still. Silent. A mirror. Not a trap, but a grave. And a monument. As Nisha stepped back into the waking world, she knew what her purpose was. Not just to document hauntings, but to give voice to those history burned. To remember the cursed so they never burn again. The Mirror of Sati. Part 6. The Rebirth of the Dead Bride. A week had passed. The Havli now stood abandoned, silent, charred, but no longer cursed. Nisha sat in her dim-lit studio, microphone glowing red, laptop open to a blank page. She pressed record. My name is Nisha Kapoor, and this is the story of Sati. As her voice filled the room, the memories returned, not as nightmares, but as truths, etched in flame. She spoke of the whispers, the mirror, the scream that echoed through time, of a bride silenced by tradition, burned not for sin, but for someone else's shame. She didn't dramatize, didn't embellish. She let the silence between sentences carry the weight. She let the breath between facts feel like prayer. By dawn, the recording was done. She leaned back, eyes closed, but something was different. Peace, and something else. The mirror in the corner of her studio, the same one she had taken from the Havli, was no longer blank. It shimmered with soft light, and in it, for just a second, stood Sati. No flames, no chains, just a bride, free. Thank you, the whisper came. Not from behind, not from the mirror, but from within her. From that day on, Nisha's podcast became more than stories. It became awakenings. Each tale she told, another voice freed. Each truth spoken, another curse broken. And though her listeners thought she was telling ghost stories, Nisha knew the truth. She was telling histories. Not every ghost wants revenge. Some just want to be remembered,